What's going on, everybody, and welcome to the Other Side of the Firewall podcast, where we talk about the latest and greatest in cybersecurity news, as well as we highlight those movers and shakers and glass ceiling breakers, those people of color who've made it to the other side of the proverbial firewall. My name is Ryan Williams, and as always, I'm joined by Shannon Tynes.
What's up? What's up?
What's going on? And Chris Abicon.
What's going on, everybody?
What's up, Chris? So, welcome to the podcast. So, again, if you're uninitiated, so Monday and Tuesday are our topics. Wednesday, we have a discussion. Thursdays, Ask a CISSP. They're kind of slowing down a little bit because of the summer and all that other good stuff. So, I had over 20 people this year. It's crazy. So, look out for the next one will be Shauna Weatherly. She is from FedSub K. She has 35 years of acquisition, tracking, and federal, knowledge. It was a really good podcast. I'm just working on some of the technicals. I made a mistake on my side. Like, her audio was perfect. Mine has some weird echoing going on. So I'm just trying to figure it out. But that should go up hopefully this upcoming Thursday. And then Fridays, everything else. So movies, books, games, all that good stuff. So last week we talked about Deadpool and Wolverine. This week, who knows? So definitely tune in for that. So without further ado, I give it to Shannon.
All right, everybody. So this article is from Axios.com. Written by Sam Sabin, and the title of this one is Safeguarding U.S. Secrets from Quantum Computers Just Got Easier. So we had talked about this in the past, right, when it came to quantum computing and how fast the technology is going forward, right, and how soon it'll be before people will have, like, quantum computers just on their desktops just, doing all types of stuff that we thought was way, way further in the future, right? Like, that is coming to us quicker, but what they talked about here is that NIST has standards for how to protect encryption from future quantum technologies, right? So the DoD is already jumping on this train, right? And the reason for this is because I'll say, right, is because of the amount of information that may have already been divulged to different countries and state actors and things of that nature. Like, we kind of make jokes at work, like China's already in there, you know what I mean? So it doesn't really matter. Be careful what you put on there, right? In certain networks, we probably shouldn't, right? We should probably take it a little more serious. Not that we're not taking it serious. I'm not going to say that, but it's just a joke we have because we're like, we already know just based off things we see. China has this information, and it may not be, and it could be a matter of China has the information, but they can't do anything with it yet. But like, when it comes to breaking encryption and things of that nature, you're starting to see that happen at a quicker clip than what it used to, right? Like, certain encryptions are being broken to where it's like, man, they told us that wouldn't be broken for 1 trillion years, right? And here it is 30 years later, right? And that encryption is already broken. So they're unveiling right now. They have up to 4 different standards that they're looking into on trying to get better protection on. In the article, it first mentions 2 of 3 standards, but at the end they're talking about a 4th standard on there. But this is something that is definitely going to be needed in the very near future, right? Because, like I said, we keep reaching these landmarks sooner and sooner when it comes to encryption being broken. When it comes to different technologies being introduced, even, right? Like, we've talked about it several times before when it comes to AI, right? And we talked about it where in a span of a year, just 1 year, of how something looked like. It was, I believe it was the Will Smith video or something like that, wasn't it, Ryan? It was
the deep fake. Yeah, how it looked like complete garbage to now.
Yeah, and it was only a year, right? So, like, that's just a testament to how fast these different things are happening, to where technology is just, I don't want to say we're outpacing ourselves. That may not be the way to say it, but we are kind of outpacing ourselves, right? So this is something that's going to be very much needed, very much sooner than we think it will be, right? So. And the White House actually hosted an event on this where we had U.S. government and industry partners to unveil the standard, right? So the current administration, they're all on this, and they've been very good. Not to say previous administrations have not put anything into it, but the current administration has been very good when it comes to, like cybersecurity and different technologies and and doing implementation of different things to help protect this information that's out there in the digital world. But yeah, these standards, man, like, the government is jumping on this. And this is another thing. The government is jumping on a lot of this stuff sooner than what they used to, right? Like, there was a time early in my career when I was in the military where it just seemed like the DoD was just so far behind when it came to keeping up with different things. Even when it came to just keeping up with different like different versions of things that come out, like operating systems, you know what I mean, and different versions when it came to like different utilities and tools, even like Microsoft products, right? Like they were so far behind what everybody else was, right? It was just times where by the time they had their full rollout, like you're close to end of life for support, you know what I mean, from Microsoft or whatever it may be. But they're getting a lot better on that, right? Like they realize the need for the security, and so does this. So when they talk about NIST actually rolling with this, and like I said, the current administration in the U.S. is already, they're on board with this and they're jumping ahead of it pretty fast. You know what I mean? But Chris, what's your thoughts on this?
Really, my first thoughts were, the first thing I thought was, so this is going to be some type of federal information processing standard through NIST, right? So it's going to be FIPS, because we currently have FIPS 140 TAC 2, right? So AES 256, RSA, all that good Diffie helmet, all that good stuff is outlined in the federal information processing standards, right? So I kind of, first thing I thought was like, what's this new stuff called, right? What are these encryption algorithms called? So I did a little bit of digging and went to IBM's website and their research division, and they've got some pretty cool names.
Yeah.
So they've got crystals Kyber. So Kyber crystals, right? Kind of call back to Star Wars, because if you're familiar with Star Wars, the Kyber crystals are what determines the color of your lightsaber, right?
Yeah.
But I can't, right, exactly. But it's ML TAC KE derived from Kyber crystal, a key encapsulation mechanism selected for general encryption, such as accessing secure websites. They've got one, it's called derived from crystals dilithium ML TAC DSA, a lattice-based algorithm chosen for general purpose digital signatures. I know that one because in my studies for CCSP, they mentioned if you see a question with quantum cryptography, if it says lattice in it, that's the answer. Right? That's the answer.
Is that the shortcut? Because I need to start studying.
Yeah. If you see it's lattice based, it's I'm not a cryptographer, I'm not a mathematician, but I actually scoured through the actual FIPS the publications, and it's extremely high level math. And I just want to thank the PhDs at NIST and at IBM for helping this making this happen, right? And the third one from IBM is SLHDSA, derived from Sphinx Plus. So that's something a little cool too, but it's a stateless hash-based digital signature scheme. So the reason why, again, this is happening, right, it's because people believe that once quantum computing is available to, everybody, RSA 248 can be broken in a matter of hours, but 2048, but 2048 bits, guys. Right, that would be considered unbreakable by classical computers. But you harnessing the laws of physics, right, with quantum computing, it's possible, right? So I think this is definitely an approach that the U.S. government's. They're preparing for the worst, right, and working with the best of the best with IBM, big tech, right, and making this happen I just think it's wonderful. That's just more stuff for us to learn as well as cybersecurity practitioners, and how this cryptography can be applied to environments, right, where it can be. I'm thinking about where the data touches. I'm thinking data flows. Like where is this, to me, like in a basic speaking, right? Where is this in a block diagram? Right, that's kind of the first thing I think about. Like, this section, this connection, this interconnection with this API, right? So it's gonna be cool. There's gonna be a lot of cool stuff coming out. But at the end of the article, right, they do talk about NSA giving organizations that have so-called national security systems until 2035 to migrate to quantum safe encryption.
Long time.
So that's a long time, but again, taking this proactive approach is fabulous.
So real quick, Ryan, I'm sorry. So like it is like the 2035, that seemed like it was way too long away for me. Like I'm like, that's a long ways away.
Right.
I'm talking 11 years, right, from right now. But like for the FIPS 140-2 thing, right? So like what I was talking about earlier is like the DoD is getting better at hopping on top of these things. So like I came across this at work recently. Actually, I was trying to get a piece of software, and I was trying to add it to a network to where it actually got denied because the FIPS encryption for the software was 140-2, and the DoD is like, no, we're moving off of that. So like 140-2 doesn't actually sunset until, I want to say it's like September 2026 or something like that, before 140-3 has to be implemented. And like they were like, no, like for this network, we're already jumping forward to 140-3. And when I started looking, I was like, man, like you're getting ahead of the curve. Because when I tried to find the specific software for what was already approved and was already been tested, like it was ahead of the curve to where it's like I can't find anything with 140-3 right now. You know what I mean? So this is what I was talking about with the DoD. They're getting more cautious and they're jumping ahead of the game. Like, nope, we realize this is still something that's still good for another couple years, but this is where we're trying to get to.
I'm actually surprised because when I left, that was not the case, and that's only been a couple of years.
Yeah.
So that's very surprising. So I'm kind of interested on how quickly they're moving because like you said, most things were close to end of life, or if not end of life. I remember using when I came in was Windows ME, so I had the Millennial Edition on my desktop. And I still had username and password, right? And then we evolved to using credentials and things of that nature. And then same thing, like we were using Lotus Notes like a decade after Lotus Notes was no longer supported.
Yeah.
We're still doing our evals on that. So it's pretty crazy. But here goes, this could be your ad right here. So our podcast is growing fast with thousands of downloads, hundreds of unique listeners, and a rapidly expanding YouTube audience. Every week, we reach a diverse group of listeners from career starters and journeymen and women to C-suite executives and senior leaders in the field. Whether you're just starting out or you're a seasoned pro, our content is tailored to provide value across all experience levels. If you're a brand or a marketer looking to connect with a highly engaged and niche audience in the cybersecurity space and the IT space, now is the perfect time to partner with us. The Other Side of the Firewall podcast is a proud product of RAM Cyber Solutions and Assessments, LLC. Interested in becoming a sponsor? Via our email address, theothersidethefw@gmail.com. Hit me up. I can't wait to read your ad. All right. Your ad right there. Think about it. All right. They're probably like, what is RAM, Cyber Solutions, and Assessments? I'm going to talk about that in a little bit. All right. I'm still got some paperwork to fill out, but that is the company name now, right?
Yeah.
That's over the podcast. So RAM Cyber. Check us out. I don't have a website yet, so don't check me out just yet. But so my opinion on it, I think you guys kind of just hit the nail on the head. So IBM is the GOAT. It's like, so whenever it comes to new standards, especially in this new realm of quantum computing and things of that nature, like they're the tip of the spear. So seeing that they already have 2 of the 3 standards kind of already cooked, baked, so to speak, ready to roll out and things of that nature to be applied to Apple, Meta, and Google, because obviously they're going to want to jump on it because once they're broken open, everybody's secrets come out, right?
Yeah.
So they're almost just as important as the Department of Defense, to be honest with you, because nobody wants their chats and IMs and things like that to go out to the world, right? Because that would be pretty bad. So they want to definitely keep all that stuff encrypted because they will lose all credibility and clout, and then we'd be on some new platforms that actually do have this new quantum resistant encryption. But when it comes to the Department of Defense, we've probably lost tons of secrets, but then there's little to no worry because they can't decode it. Like you said, it's just garbage. Like right now they have garbage in their hands, but as soon as they're able to roll this out, like how many secrets will be exposed, right? So like now is the time to get ahead of it. So I do agree with that as well. So we'll see. Like I think the closest near peer would be China. Like China's really about this quantum lifestyle, to which they launched the first quote unquote quantum satellite in space. No one has a quantum computer yet, right? Like the best of the best are still not there yet. There's revisions, there's close facsimiles, but I think they said we're still a good decade and a half away from having one here in the States. And that's with the best of the best working on it. It's just, it takes a long time to manufacture this thing and to get it working. But then, like you said, one day everyone will have one on their desktop. For what purpose, I still don't know. Like quantum computers are very specific for what they do. So you don't need that. Like, unless, I don't know, like it probably, like if you're, it can be used in a lot of different applications, right? So maybe if you're in weather, you're in stocks, you're in math intensive industries, then yes. But if you're just a regular person, the other side of the firewall doesn't need quantum computers. Like it's not going to help me do anything. I want one when they become reasonably priced in the 2060, but for the all intents and purposes, like very specific career fields and departments and sectors of government will need this, but most people will not need this. on their desk, at least to my knowledge, right? Like, who knows? Like, we once thought the same thing about GPUs, right? Like, oh, you only need that if you're designing. But now, like, if you don't have a really good GPU, you can't even play a game well. So, like, maybe there's some use in the future. I'm just not tracking, but, we'll see.
I think you're going to be forced to, though, right? So, like, you kind of brought it up, right? Like, the Apples and the Googles and the Metas are already jumping on this, right? Like, when it comes to the standards, like, you're going to get forced to at some point, right? Like, they're going to be like, you cannot log into it unless you have a device that supports this, right? And here's the thing. We know when it comes to quantum computing, it's going to start big and go small, right? So, like,
right.
Our phones are pretty much mini computers right now, right? But it didn't start that way to where we did all of that computing and all of that taking pictures even, right? Like, I remember when that was the novelty on a phone where it was like, man, I can take pictures on my phone.
Yeah, I don't need a camera in my phone.
Yeah, I have a camera, right? Like, that's what we used to think. But I think it's going to go that direction to where it's like, you're going to be forced to do it because, like you said, secrets spilling out and things of that nature. Like, it's only a matter of time. Because these guys and gals are going to get sick of getting dragged in front of Congress every time some type of breach happens where they're not properly protecting something. And they're like, okay, you want us to properly protect it? And it's just going to go, bam, they're going to hit the moon going overboard with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it'll be a crazy world. Introducing the iPhone 35 with the Q1 chip. You know what I mean? Like, and now it's helping you predict what you should and should not do. As you're typing text, like, it's already going to formulate like how the person will perceive this text and then help you fix it, right? Because these things will tell the future in a weird way. So I don't know. Like, we'll see. We'll definitely, I was going to say my famous line, but I'm not going to say it. We will see. We'll definitely continue to check us out throughout the week. So Monday, Tuesday, our topics, Wednesday, discussion, Thursdays, Ask a CISSP. I have a really good one coming up as soon as I engineer the mess out of it. And then Fridays, everything else. So movies, books, games, all that good stuff. So definitely continue to check us out on all of the websites that go by our names, either the other side of the firewall, the other side of the FW, or Ask a CISSP, or hit me up personally. I'm at RyRy Security Guy. That's RYRY Security Guy. You can find me pretty much on every social media platform. And you, Chris, where can they find you?
You can find me on LinkedIn under Chris Abacon, last name spelled A Bacon.
There it is. Stay safe, stay secure.